5 minutes. So Sweet Leaf has developed a Sensimilia program, much like the sommelier. The Sensimilia is responsible for development of cannabis product selection, delivery of the service, and training for dispensary staff. Again, like I said, I can't expect all of my employees to have tried everything, but I want a few experts on site at all times, which is at a nice restaurant, the person that rolls by when you don't know what wine you want, that will help you find it, have some backstory, and help you deliver this message. They're responsible for delivery service and also training my staff on products. 2-year working program, they must have a thorough compliance knowledge. This is something that I pride myself on. They have some less than endearing names for me about compliance. Deep knowledge of how concentrate, edible, topical, strain-specific products complement each other. Again, there's, we've got a protein blend for your shake before you work out, and then a water-soluble THC CBD 1-to-1 for after your workout to help you with the muscles, the relaxation, and to be able to, not get the acid buildup. Memorization of cannabinoid and terpene symbiosis and where they come from. An extensive understanding of how different products are made. This is so important. Is it resin? Is it rosin? Is it BHO? Is it PHO? That's a big deal, and a lot of times when people don't utilize concentrates, at this point with how fast science is developing, it's almost impossible. To boot, when now we're looking at edibles being used with a wide gamut of concentrates and what that looks like. Is this a fat-based product? Was this made with butter? Is your body going to better metabolize it? There's little pieces in there that are very important that you understand how that product was made to be able to let the consumer know who says, I can do well with a butter-based edible, to say, well, this, and this are made with butter. This, and this are CO2, this, and this are BHO, and that's something that's very valuable for the consumer to understand once they've triggered once they've figured out what it is that works for them, for you to be able to find that product. Historical awareness, obviously you gotta understand how hard we fought. I actually was at a roast the other day and they made a Henry Anslinger joke and nobody fucking laughed. And I was like, does anyone in the room know who Henry Anslinger is? I'm pretty upset right now. I wanted to it was a big thing for me. Yeah, I don't understand this. In a professional opinion, you gotta know, what do you like? And that's important. Strain selections, I'm gonna buzz through this real quick for the grow. You wanna make sure that whatever you're choosing for your grow does not have a predisposition to pests or molds. This is climate specific and location specific. Some places have much harder times with others. Powdery mildew is systemic, in case anybody didn't know. It's like herpes. You got it forever. It doesn't matter if you cut it. You got it put away. But when the conditions are not correct, powdery mildew comes back. So being very careful and cautious of that. Botrytis, bud rot, that's something that you want to make sure certain strains are more prone to it based on the density of the product. If you're in a very high humidity area, there are some things you want to consider when dealing with very, very, very dense products. Spider mites, hemp-resistant mites aren't on there because it's like putting a scary plague on your slide. But hemp-resistant mites specifically, here's a bit of data for you, are being used on CDOT in California to clear shrubs on the side of the road. They destroy things. So the Department of Transit is putting hemp-resistant mites along the highways. So if you're an outdoor grower and you're like, oh my God, where do these hemp-resistant mites come from? State of California, you're welcome. Growth and nutrient need, same flower time on all strains. When you're running a large-scale facility, if you have a smaller facility, I'd say 20,000 square feet or less, sure. When you're running 100,000 plus, you need for things to flower at the same time. I don't have time for me to say that one's 90 days, or that one's 70 days, that one's 60 days. We need to be able to say everything that's at 60 days, pull it. So having a similar flower time is very important. Water needs, obviously certain plants need more. The more evolved our automated systems are becoming, the less of an important part this is. However, it is still very valuable. The average height of the plant, you don't want plants that are canopying over everything else and just blocking out all their sunshine. And so, if you do have the tall plants, put all of those in one row together or in one area together so that they're not fighting the little Kush is not fighting a Durban. Environmental needs, obviously certain things need a little bit different environmental conditions. With that said, certain strains won't grow in other places. Here's a good example, OG Kush, okay? Everyone knows OG Kush is just better on the coast, blah, blah, blah. Great, I agree. However, there's science behind it. Salinity and humidity that is naturally in the air coastally allows for the product to properly cure the flavors in. Regardless of how you're controlling the environment, you are still getting a lot in, and we have learned that the product will stay good longer and smell good longer coastally, and I think a lot of that is based on the fact that the salts and the humidity in the air allow for a proper cure time. Stability of genetics. There are a lot of legal restrictions on the limit strain availability. This is something that's very interesting. One day weed just shows up. I'm really excited about the day that it just like shows up in Alabama to see what strains hit the market. Because one day you just get to work and, well, there's weed in my grow, like thanks. And then the state's just like, okay, great, that's awesome. This is legal weed now. So your availability to acquire strains locally really, really limits. Cure time needed. If you're not curing at a similar rate, you could back up on the amount of space you have. If you overcompensate for space, this shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of times, if you're doing math on exactly this much space needed for exactly this much grow, cures are different. You will need a little bit more space. Variety indica sativa hybrid CBD, 30, 35, 25, 10. As far as the selection is concerned, you could go a little lower on the CBD if you're a recreational facility, and I go a little higher if you're a medical facility. Trends. Flavors and terpenes are more popular than anything at this point. We can sell anything that smells like OG or anything that smells like lemons. It's amazing. That's really all I buy, so I feel like pretty with the crowd. Strains are important. Certain strains, breeder specific. Good example, cookies, Girl Scout cookies.